hear myself. Here we go. Looks like we're live. Okay, so I'm testing out a new webcam and my microphone, and I thought I would just hop on here, check out how the live works, and see about. Well, I figured as long as I was on here that I would maybe um, chat with you all about QHHT and my big plans. I'm looking at my video on here so I can see, because I'm not so sure about like if I can see comments very well. I'm blind. I mean, I can see them on my screen. I'm kind of blind, so I don't want to be sitting here like this, like looking at my screen. Anyway, so hi, who am I? I'm Jillian Devonna Rogers. If you are checking this out, nice to meet you if we haven't chatted before. I am a 46-year-old happily married mother of 4. And this is my, hang on, let me just, you can see, like, okay. I'm sitting on my porch where I usually do, if the weather is nice enough, I do interviews with my clients for QHHT. And I want to talk with you guys a little bit about what that is, what I've been up to. Some of you, even my friends, are like, what is this stuff that you've been doing? And they've been asking questions. So I thought I would just, while I'm testing out my equipment, hop on here and explain some stuff. So QHHT stands for Quantum Healing Hypnosis Technique. It is a method that was developed by Dolores Cannon, over 40 years of clients. She started off when she was married. Her and her husband together were doing hypnosis for like quitting smoking and losing weight and anxiety, stuff like that. And they had a client that had anxiety, a nervous eating disorder, and she wanted just to learn how to calm down. And so they did this hypnosis on her, which ended up, I should post a service menu. I will do that. I need help. That's one of the things that I'm going to be talking about on here. I need help getting business stuff, getting that all going. I have been really, really focused on learning things, and that whole getting things organized deal is just not my forte. Anyway, so Dolores had this client that they were doing hypnosis on her to relax, and she ended up actually going back into a past life, like completely accidentally. And Dolores discovered this was pretty cool, and she ended up learning how to, long story short, she ended up learning how to tap directly into, during hypnosis, into not just like our subconscious, but our subconscious is also connected to the universal consciousness, which this isn't woo-woo stuff. Like even Carl Jung talked about this. You can look all of this stuff up. The CIA has a thing called the Gateway Experience. You can look all that up too, right on the CIA website, where they taught their operatives how to basically how to astral project. So this isn't all woo-woo stuff that I discuss and I work with here. This is real things that have a real basis in science. I'm a very logical, analytical minded person. For those of you who don't know me that well, I have, my whole life has been a pursuit of knowledge. And when I discovered QHHT, I was thrilled, because now I actually have a way to get all of the answers to everything that I've ever wanted to know. So every day we all go through different stages of hypnosis just throughout our normal day. Uh, when we're awake and alert, talking, like right now, I am in beta. My brain waves are in beta. Uh, and I don't know why this is kind of backwards, but it is. Once the minute you close your eyes, the minute you start scrolling Facebook, um, the minute you start driving, and you get that. Have you ever had like the driving hypnosis where all of a sudden you're somewhere that it's 20 minutes have gone by and you're like, how the heck did I even get here? That's hypnosis. And then right before we fall asleep, we all go through this. By the way, alpha, that state is alpha. That's the state of like light hypnosis where you are most often, like if you go to a sideshow or something where they're doing like light hypnosis of people, that's what, like, it's pretty easy to get anybody into alpha. um, Theta is the next step down, I guess you could say. um, that's the state that we are all in right before we fall asleep. It's that state where your body is kind of shutting off. Your mind is still conscious. Most of my clients remain conscious throughout the majority, if not all, of their sessions. Um, so they're, completely safe. There's nothing crazy getting implanted into your mind. Um, it's all what comes through from your subconscious. Um, so theta is the state that I get you into for your sessions. Excuse me. Sitting out here having my coffee this morning. Um, so the process is basically we meet, we chat for a few hours. I get to know your background, some major events in your life, perhaps what the reasons for your visit are. Like what brings you here. Um, for a lot of people, it's just curiosity. For a lot of people, it's healing. And healing is the main thing that we do with this. Reason being, our psyches have a lot more effect on our bodies and our whole worlds than we realize. And it's like I had one client tell me, I have spent thousands of dollars and been to so many therapists throughout the years, and I have gotten more out of this one session today with you than I have gotten out of all those years of therapy. Um, and I really do believe that quantum healing hypnosis technique is the healing modality of the future, because um, the modern day medical industry is focused on making money, not making you better. They're not focused on cures. They're focused on selling drugs. And not that doctors, nurses don't have the best of intentions, and I'm not saying that, but our whole society is geared towards putting band-aids on the symptoms instead of getting at the why, how the symptoms got there in the first place. So that's what QHHT does. Is it your subconscious will bring you to things that you need to resolve, and even if you don't believe in reincarnation, most of my clients don't actually go back into past lives anymore. That's not as important anymore. Your subconscious will create whatever construct you need, just like when you go to sleep at night and you dream. Your subconscious creates a construct and you experience something while you dream, okay? It's kind of the same thing when we do hypnosis. Your imagination, your subconscious will create whatever experience you need to experience to feel whatever you need to feel to work out whatever you need to in your psyche. And and these situations may have actually happened to you, or they may just be something that you need to feel and experience. And when you're in that state of hypnosis, you feel as though you are there, like you are experiencing it. Those feelings can release if they need to be released, or they can be felt and received if they need to be received. For instance, if you've never felt, Maya, come here. My guard dog is on duty. Um, a client that has feelings of self-esteem due to never receiving love from a mother, right? Um, and not feeling worthy of that unconditional love that she never received as a child. Saw several scenes that were very much like with a loved one, a partner being very loved, having a couple of children, doting on them like she wished she could have been, and just a very very happy family, and experiencing what that feels like from that perspective, knowing that she was, so she could really internalize that she was worthy of being loved like that, that she was going to be able to be a good mother. Like all of those things were very important for her to feel and experience. And when you come out of these sessions, it's your brain doesn't know the difference really between like memory, imagination, and experiences that are happening right now. It will process everything the same way it'll put like the chemicals in that need to be put into your body. So when you're actually experiencing those things, you feel that feeling of love, that serotonin and dopamine or whatever like goes into your body, and it's healing, right? Now, not only that do we heal the issues with the psyche, right? We can go and then we go back and like what did you learn from those experiences? You can internalize that. Then we get into what people call the woo-woo stuff, or what Carl Jung said, strange things happen there. And Dolores says, if you've ever worked with the universal consciousness, strange things happen there. This is where the healing happens, where it's the collective consciousness will actually come through, speak, and things come through that the client is not even aware of sometimes. Like this isn't woo woo. This is real, and they know things. You can ask them things. I've had one client that has has a major a celestial figure has come through. That's been interesting. I'm going to be doing a video series on all of that, so I know a lot of you have a lot of questions about that. Mr. Source, it's not quite ready for public yet, but very, 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 very interesting stuff has been coming out from that. Not most people have very normal sessions, and they've all ended up being incredibly helpful for every client that I've done one with. So there's a little bit of what QHHT is all about. I really honestly in my heart believe that this is the healing modality of the future. I've seen miracles. I've witnessed miracles, what people would call miracles. uh, it's all possible when you tap into that universal consciousness. There's really literally nothing that's impossible. So I am going to be here in Minnesota for a few more weeks at least. We are closing on our house in Hawaii end of May. I don't know the exact date because we had to switch lenders. You guys have been following that whole story. But we did find a new lender, but we had to switch everything. So, and now they hit us with the roof, so we got to deal with that too. But we knew we were going to have to do a lot of work on that house. I'm pretty excited. So, but for a few weeks yet, we are going to be here in Minnesota and finishing getting our house here fixed up. We're going to be renting it out Airbnb for at least this summer. We might change our plans, but once we see how it goes, but for at least this summer, it will be available for rent through Airbnb, or you can contact me directly. Within a week or two, hopefully we'll have the downstairs done. We're just being lazy. We got to finish painting downstairs, and then the downstairs will be ready to be rented out even before we end up taking off in the RV. So if you are interested, Lakeside Retreat, I'm probably gonna, I don't know, I'm thinking I will eventually be doing retreats here. I'm not sure if I'm going to be putting one together. It's kind of short notice to put one together before I go for anybody to be able to actually attend. But I might just do a trial run, if anybody is local and available and interested. Maybe do like a 7-day transformation local course where you're not staying. If anybody's interested in that, get a hold of me and let me know. But if you would like to do a QHHT session, or if you're interested in, I also do sound energy healing, which is very helpful. I read tarot, and I do just general spiritual counseling. So if you're interested in any of my services, it's donation based until we leave. I really just want to help as many people as I can before we leave Minnesota and get out to Hawaii and begin our mission. Also this summer, if you're not in Minnesota this summer, we will be traveling around a bit on the mainland while our house is getting worked on. And gross, people don't want to hear you licking. Stop licking my hand. So if you're around somewhere in the country on the mainland and you're really, really interested in doing a session, getting a session done, or if you are also a practitioner and you would like to trade sessions with me, get a hold of me, let me know exactly where you are and your availability. We might just like do a quick tour before we end up. I think we're going to be centered in Oklahoma for a few weeks for doing some work, not exciting work, but we want to try and get a few places, that are nice, like down to Florida and whatnot. So if that interests you, let me know. And if you have any questions about the hypnosis sessions, feel free to leave a comment here, message me, whatever you're interested in. And I'm also going to be doing a series of podcasts. Well, I started doing some podcasts, just straight podcasts, because I don't like being on camera. For those of you that don't know, I'm also an ordained minister, and we are starting a mission. So if you're interested in any of that, any of my spiritual teachings or insights, let me know and you can look out for that. I will share my first podcast maybe in the comments here, and you can tell me what you think. I haven't recorded any more yet, but I will be soon. So anyways, for anybody that is still on, if you have any questions, let me know. And if not, I will head off here in just a minute. Say hi, Maya. Say hi. No, you can't lick. No licking. No licking. This is my little white shadow. She's got to be everywhere with me. Well, nobody is saying anything, so it looks like there aren't any questions. So thank you all for joining me and learning more about QHHT. I really hope you get a hold of me and book a session. And like I said, there's no cost right now. I am still an intern, although really experience doesn't matter with this. It's all about the technique. You know, once you can get somebody down, that's really just procedure and in knowing how to question the client. And from what I hear, I'm pretty good at hypnotizing people. So, yay, that's cool. If you're not local and if I'm not going to be anywhere near you, but you're interested in getting a session, you can go to QHHTofficial.com and you can find a practitioner in your area there. I will hopefully be up on that website myself soon with my own page as soon as my sessions get reviewed, and I will be up there officially as a practitioner level 1, and hopefully pretty soon Michael and I will both be taking, he'll be taking level 1 and we will both be taking level 2 here pretty soon. And okay, I'm waiting. We have, for those of you that haven't seen, I have a pinned comment at the top of my page that was our QHHT practitioner reunion in Kauai. Talk more about sound healing. What would you like to know about sound healing? Like what I do? I use, okay, let's just get to the basics. Everything is frequency and energy. Everything, even us. I want to, you know, I've been studying a lot of different things throughout my whole entire life. Quantum physics being one of them. There's a lot of really technical stuff to this, but quantum physics has replaced a lot of the standard models of physics that we have clung to for a very long time. Quantum physics has backed up a lot of the things that these spiritual gurus have been saying for thousands and thousands of years. Long story short, we are all energy beings. We are all made of energy. Therefore, our frequency, we all have an individual frequency. And we all have these energy centers within our body, different names throughout the years, but most commonly referred to as chakras. Okay, so these energy centers, and you know this instinctually, when you get that like gut feeling and butterflies in your stomach, that's an energy center. That's your solar plexus acting up, and or your sacral chakra, could be either one of those, but you know that energy builds up in your body. Anxiety attacks, you know, when your heart center gets overactive, you know. So sound healing is a way to and not just that, but any disease is caused by an imbalance of your energies. This, I'm really simplifying things here, and you can challenge me on it if you want, but this is after years and years of research and also learning all of this with QHHT. So this is the sound healing helps heal on a quantum level. It's putting things back into proper frequency. Sound, if you can look this stuff up on YouTube if you want. If you aim the right frequencies at a cancer, it will dissolve. Um, it's pretty crazy, but it's true. And frequencies affect us all the time. Um, I really want to strongly recommend, if you want to start helping yourself at home, get a pair of headphones like this that cover your ears, or a pair that you can, even better, like a pair that has like the headbands on that you can sleep with. And um, I share a lot of things. On my YouTube, I have playlists saved of, got one that's a spirituality school. I've got one, there's Bob Monroe's, um, the Monroe Institute. He put out these series of hemi-sync tapes. Um, they were tapes back then. Now they've been put on YouTube. Uh, but these are the tapes that the CIA actually used to help train their operatives. So what it is, hemi-sync is like, and he runs you through it in the beginning. It'll run like, if you do one tone in this ear and a slightly different tone in this ear, instead of them sounding like a straight tone, they start to like warble in your brain almost. It's crazy, but you can actually almost feel it in your brain. And when you listen to these hemi-sync audio, it literally starts having your left and your right brain work together. Your left and your right brain have very different functions. And a lot of times your left brain's like the filter into your right brain. Your right brain's like where your imagination is, where the symbols are, where all of that stuff is, right? Your left brain is the analytical part, the filter that this has to, like everything processes through your left brain before it gets to your right brain. Um, and a lot of times they're in conflict. So the hemi-sync tapes really, that is like one of the best sound therapies that you can do on your own to help yourself get into a meditative state. It's just amazing. Um, they also use hemi-sync for doing like lucid dreaming, which I posted links for that, which is really cool. It's so relaxing. Like the ones for lucid dreaming knocked my butt out really fast. But you got to make sure you have, it's got to be in the headphones, because if you play it in the room, it doesn't really work as well. If it's going directly into your ears, that's when you get the hemi-sync going on. And it really does. Once it drops you down to theta, like that, like just bam, super fast. So I highly recommend that for meditating. I recommend meditating for everybody. Um, no matter what your problem is, that's going to be my number one recommendation. Meditate. And I know a lot of people have trouble meditating, so try the hemi-sync tape if you have trouble meditating and staying focused, because you won't have any problem with that. Like it'll really help you get into that state just amazingly. Um, and then also breathing helps a lot. The breath work. I do. I recommend that people do, along with when they're doing their meditating in the hemi-sync, do a visualization of a golden white ball of light. And this is very helpful for healing and getting your chakras in balance too, um, and releasing those blockages, right? So you sit comfortably. You can have your legs down, sit cross-legged, whatever, but try to sit up straight. And then you're going to breathe in for a count of 7. You're going to imagine a ball of golden white light moving down each time, with each number down your chakras, right? And kind of stopping there for a second as you count, right? And you're going to inhale, and you're going to arch everything back as you inhale, and you expand everything back as you count to 7, right? And then you hold it in your root chakra. Imagine you're holding it there in your root chakra, and it's kind of balancing around. You count to 7 again, and then you count to 7 again as you bring it back up, and then you crunch forward as you exhale and breathe out everything out and bring the ball back up. You do that about at least 3 times. And the breathing, the hemi-sync, and the breathing and the hemisync and the visualization all together just really, it really kicks meditation into gear. But yeah, sound therapy is, along with the QHHT, my second favorite, because when you're dealing with things in the 3D realm, not the metaphysical realm, it has the best effect on our bodies, because everything is, Nikolai Tesla. If you want to understand the secrets of the universe, think in terms of frequency, energy, and vibration. And the man was a genius. He wasn't wrong, because literally everything is frequency, energy, and vibration. And once you can raise your own frequency, you can that will begin to reflect in your world. And getting yourself aligned is very, very important. So the sound healing, especially, like, yes, you can listen to YouTube videos, or even listen to me over video with the singing bowls. And I have weighted tuning forks that I actually place on your body as we do the sound healing, and that puts that vibration right into your body, and like you can literally feel it spreading throughout your body. And yes, I do Reiki as well, but I kind of do it along with the sound therapy, so I don't do it separately really anymore. um, I just kind of lump it all together and say energy healing, because that's what it is. But especially getting that vibration down into your body and feeling, I put the when I do a session for clients, I put my singing bowls right underneath the table and kind of create that almost like an energy vortex underneath of them, where it's, spinning that frequency up and that vibration right up through the table into them. So it's super relaxing. The first time I did it for Michael, because I played music in the background too. I use the bowls. Now that I have discovered the binaural beats, I can put that on my clients if they want to listen to that. The hemisync. And just really, but the first session I did for Michael with that, he got up and he said, I have never, ever been more relaxed in my entire life. So, yeah, I mean, and I think that's important for anybody, to just take an hour out of your day once in a while and just let the whole world go away, and just off for an hour and just bathe in that healing energy. No matter what your spiritual beliefs are, it helps. It's so healing and so energizing. So, yeah. Anyways, there's my little bit on sound healing as well, which I absolutely love, and I think everybody should experience at least once, as well as Nicole knows as well, the pods, which we were gonna do here. We were going to get the sound deprivation pods here when I was going to start the Holistic Health Center here, before we went on the retreat and discovered that we're being called to Hawaii. I still would love to do that here if I could have somebody help me run it, but I don't know if that's even feasible right now. But if Spirit thinks it should be, it will be, because I think there are not enough, definitely not in this area, but there almost nothing can beat sound deprivation pods. And we also, once we do get them, because we will be getting at least one in Hawaii, there's also a program that you can run with them called Dreamscapes. That's like a series that was developed specifically for use with the Dream Pods. That's hypnosis as well. I didn't develop, but I might develop my own as well. But I think that's pretty interesting. I'm pretty excited to do that, because the place that I go to here in Minnesota, in Mankato, that has the deprivation pods doesn't have that. So I'm kind of interested to check that out. And so yeah, There's my bit on QHHT and sound energy healing, and a little bit of an update on what we are going to be doing. Does anybody else have any questions about me or hypnosis or metaphysics, spirituality, anything before I hop off here? I'll give it just a minute before I sign off. It's a beautiful day. It's finally getting warm out again. We had a couple days where it was like 80, and then it got chilly again. Minnesota's bipolar in the spring, and I don't like it. It's a beautiful state if you don't mind mosquitoes eating you alive. And love going where? Here? I'm going to have a big going away party, I think. We haven't had a gathering since last summer when we got married. And I'd like to have a bit of a gathering before we take off to Hawaii. And I can't wait for all of you to come and visit me in Hawaii. We are going to be renovating our carport into a condo suite, at the very least, and eventually it's going to be our mission headquarters. Eventually we're going to be putting a second floor on, hopefully, if we can get the permitting and raise the funds, so we can do actual retreats, which are going to be really, really cool. Not cheap, but they are going to include all sorts of amazing stuff to do on the island, as well as all the spiritual stuff that you'll be learning and healing and all of that. But helicopter rides, boat tours, canyon tours, all sorts of really neat stuff. Oh, the float tanks. Yeah. Yep, I love going there too. Yep, I know you go to Mankato. You're the reason why we started going there. We go to the same place. I still have a session that we paid for that I have to use before we move, so maybe we should get together, do a couples day, and head down to Mankato and have lunch or something. Anywho, did you have any questions about anything else before I hop off, Nicole? I know you've been interested in the sound healing, so you can come experience that one of these days too. As far as the rental, like our guest area downstairs, like I said, that will be available in a couple of weeks. Hopefully in a couple of weeks. It's available right now if you're a friend, for very, very cheap, because we haven't redone the bedroom yet. I mean, it's usable. We just, but yeah, it's a really nice big area, big, cushy, comfy living room set to sit on, big, huge TV. There's bar area, bedroom, bathroom, private patio area, and then the hot tub's right outside the door that looks out over the lake. So it's a really nice little weekend getaway, perhaps. And yeah, there's stairs that come upstairs, but we would be, while we're renting it out as a guest area, we will be, that will be a private area. So anyways, that's that. Get a hold of me if you would like to book any services. Like I said, until we move, everything's donation based, so pay what you can afford. Everything's going to support our mission in Kauai, which is for preservation of the island. If any of you have more questions about that, I could maybe do a whole deal about that, but I won't get too much into it, other than to say my husband and I have been drawn to that island because it is the center for healing, and the local people are so amazing. They're so loving, so kind, so generous, and they're getting driven out of their homes because the land prices are raising so high. And it was actually a miracle that my husband and I were able to find a home that we could actually afford there. Um, and that was definitely gifted by spirit. There's no other way around it because I didn't think there was any way that we would be able to find a single family home on that island. It's way too expensive, but we did. It needs a lot of work, and that's the only reason why. But the island cleared us a spot. It's absolutely gorgeous. But the housing prices are just ridiculous. Most local people can only afford to rent, if that. And a lot of them, like almost everyone I'm talking to, they're like living multi-generational because that's all they can afford to do, cramped into, tons of people into, a two-bedroom house. And if they can, most of them are renting. A lot of the local people are selling their land for way more than it's worth. It's being overrun by rich people that can afford to pay way more than it's worth, and there's a lot that needs to get done there to help preserve the island, help the people out there. I mean, I'm not sure who all these people that run the resorts are thinking are going to help them run it if they run all the locals out, because that's what's happening. They're all talking about, well, we might have to move to the mainland because we can't afford to live here anymore. And it's really sad. So laws are need to be put into place to protect local residents from getting run out. And the land needs to be protected from being developed. So that's like two of the main goals that we want to help out with that island. Um, Aside from, of course, our spiritual mission. So anyway, I've gone on way long enough. I hope you guys all are having a beautiful Wednesday. Thank you so much for joining me. Love you too, Nicole. Thank you. Have a beautiful day. Bye bye.